Welcome to another exciting episode of Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
This is a video that we shot, a few weeks ago when we had no air conditioning and the computer crashed. It was the night of the greatest show we ever had when we weren't on it, and Primetime took over the show, and everybody loved that. Go figure.
That was fun.
For everybody but us.
Yeah, exactly.
But I posed a question to Mr. Magazine, and we'll see if his answer has changed any in the last couple of weeks. When you pick up a collection, what is your theory on percentage of it you get listed and amount of money you get back and how quickly you get money back? And I'm not talking about, obviously, buying a one or two item collection, because that's a whole different story. I walk in with a 1932 Red Sox team ball.
Yeah.
You're going to pay, you're going to get it listed. You're not really worried too much about how quickly you get your money back on it because you're buying it for the long term to make money. And I have no idea what those are worth, but I sold it to you for $250 and you have it listed for $750.
Right.
You're not going to sell it for $350 tomorrow just to get your money back.
Yeah, I mean, we bought so many big collections over the years that we can kind of gauge that answer just by visually looking at stuff. But I'll give you a couple examples. Number one, the Don Mattingly collection I bought from a local diehard Don Mattingly fan. His whole house was Don Mattingly. Showcases, hundreds and hundreds of cards, autographed jersey, signed bats, gloves, whatever. I paid $20,000 for everything. It's a lot of money. And I'm like, well, I got to get my money back, but I can't dedicate all my employees listing Don Mattingly stuff for 6 months because there's a lot of Don Mattingly fans out there, but they're not going to be all buying my items.
Well, actually, that's actually a really good point because there may be 1,000 Don Mattingly regular buyers on eBay.
Yeah,
they've got X amount of discretionary income each. We'll just say $100 each they can spend every month.
Right.
Well, that's an upper limit to the amount of stuff you can sell. So if the most you can sell is $10,000 worth to these people, and that's assuming they're not buying from anybody else.
And they probably, a lot of them have a lot of the same common cards. They're going to be chasing the numbered out of 10, the one of ones. The rare stuff is what they're going to be bidding on.
Right, I guess my point is you would tank the market on your own.
Right.
Because if all of a sudden you put up 20,000 Don Mattingly items and 5,000 items sell in a given month, leaving out the common cards, 5,000 items sell in a given month, well, now there's only so much money to go around buying on Don Mattingly stuff.
Yeah, and I think the timing was right, too, because it was February, March, and I'm like, well, baseball's right around the corner, because if it was like January, February, or December, it's like, it's not baseball season. If the Yankees are hot, even though he doesn't play, he manages, So we started listing them then. But again, I picked out the best of the best, the autograph stuff. I go, let's get autograph stuff on first. Let's get the rare cards on because that's what we're going to chase. Let's not put these $5 and $10 cards on because I'll never get my money back right now. Eventually, we'll get another employee that's, listing easy, cheaper stuff, and we'll let him knock out the $5, $10, $20 cards. But in the meantime, and I think it took us a while, but we did get our money back. And now we may have, we probably made some money, I'm sure, but the gravy is those $10 and $20 cards that we still have floating around,
Well, and what percentage did you end up getting listed?
Well, value-wise or just like if there was like...
No, not value-wise.
Card-wise and everything?
Item-wise, yeah.
Oh, man.
See,
Not even half.
Right,
yeah.
See, because that's what clogs us up.
Right.
Is the items.
Yeah, and they don't take up a lot of room because they are cards, so they're sitting in, card boxes and stuff, and there might be a couple tubs of memorabilia, but again, we're putting lots on, but now we're trickling them in, so, we found a tub sitting in the corner, we sold some Mattingly lots that went for $50, $100, $200, which now it's the gravy's coming in, and once we get those other cards on, more gravy, and we're out of the deal, so, but again, it's one of those things where I'm not going to put all my eggs into Don Mattingly right now, second example is when I'm buying rare old toys or, like hot toys, mint He-Man collection or Transformers or G.I. Joes, those I store and stockpile because it never goes bad. So unless I'm spending $10,000 or $20,000 on a collection like that, I don't have to sell them. If someone comes in with $1,000 worth of G.I. Joe figures, I've been putting them in a corner for 5 years. I may have 1,000 or 1,500 G.I. Joe figures worth $50,000, but I don't have a lot of money invested, and they're not going to spoil. When the time is right and we get to it, we'll start listing stuff like that. So it all depends on what it is and how much I have into the item.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question, and I can already smell the smoke. The Ohio deal.
Yeah.
What percentage of that do you think you have listed item-wise?
Over half.
Okay.
I would say well over half.
And how long ago was that? 2 years, 3 years?
We're working on year 4. I think that was it a 3-year payoff? This is the last year the payoff. So I would say between 3 and 4 years. I would say the good thing about that now, it was 3 Penske trucks. It was 1,000 boxes. We end up getting a lot of the adult and men's stuff on quickly because that's our niche. I had my one lister knocking that stuff out when we first got it. Then we had a lot of the sci-fi stuff that was on Amazon. We had another guy knock those out. Anything sci-fi books. Now we're down to like posters, press kits, any of the weird oddball stuff. And I think, what else we got left of that deal? I got a mind blank now. I was just thinking of something. Oh, the high-end magazine. So the old Elvis magazines, the old Marilyn Monroe, a lot of that stuff, the old Beatles stuff, those have been sitting in the corner because it's one of those things where like, let's get the other stuff on now. I'd rather sell $10, $20, $50 items, and we'll wait till we get someone that can list the stuff properly and get it on at the right time. So, yeah, I would say 65%, I would say, 2/3. Yeah.
Okay, so that seems to be about where you are, and I know you called me out on it, which nobody will ever see, thank goodness. When I had said that I get about 60% of my items listed, and then you looked around. But I think, again, it seems to be about where we're at, is about 60%. And as I mentioned in other videos, my problem comes along. There's one big collection every once in a while that just clogs everything up because it's just too good of a deal to pass up. Or sometimes it's not even that great of a deal. I just think I see something in it, and then I just never get around to listing the deal overall. I'll give you... Go ahead.
Here's a problem, though. Like, say we both buy collections and there's 10,000 pieces in there. We're lucky enough to get 2/3 on. Now, 3 years ago, we got, 3,500 pieces left. Same thing happens last year. 3,500 pieces left. This year, 3,500. So now you got 10,000 pieces that are stockpiling. That's the problem.
Yep. Well, and I'll give you a perfect example. You sold me a few years ago, and I remember I gave you $1,000. And they were a bunch of comics, boxes and boxes of comics. And I don't remember how many boxes of comics I bought off you. 40? 30? I don't know.
Yeah. Was that from the one deal with...
No, not that one. It was a different deal. It was a different deal. I gave you $1,000 for it.
Yeah.
Maybe 20 boxes. I don't know. Probably 20 boxes for it. And I made my money out of it.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's sitting back behind me still. And a couple of other deals that have come along are also sitting back behind me as well. Yeah. So I'm out of the deal. But if that same deal came along and you said to me, you want to buy this, I probably wouldn't now.
Right.
Because they were things like, Punisher War Journal.
Yeah, it's like an Amazon, good Amazon stuff, but again, they slowly sell. You'll make good money, but, you list 500 comics, you're going to sell 2 a week.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened. And, because we're talking probably 5 years ago, I'm out of the deal. I'm well out of it as far as dollar-wise go.
Yeah.
But... the other stuff is just all sitting back behind me and probably won't get listed anytime soon because why am I going to go list on Amazon, Punisher War Journal number 7 for $5? Right. Why would I do that?
Yeah, I mean, if you're in a listing zone, you say, hey, I'm going to list as many comics as I can in one day, knock out, 2 long boxes out, whatever you can do in a long day. Well, at least you got it done. It's out of your way, and now the money can roll in at some point. But again, you're taking yourself away from other venues.
Right, and especially at this point having the day job, I've only got, time is definitely more valuable to me. And if I do have a long weekend, the last thing I want to do with a long weekend is list a comic box of common 1990s Marvel comics.
Right.
I mean, yes, they will sell, but why? Or anything, the Bronze Age Tweety and Sylvesters. Yeah, they'll sell. I'll get $4 to $5 each out of them over time plus shipping. But that's low-end stuff compared to the stuff that I've got piled up that I really should get listed instead.
Right, sure.
So, yeah, I'm running about 2/3 as well, I would say, overall. But as you said, it just adds up over time. Right. Item-wise this year, I'm probably close to on top of everything that I bought. Maybe even broken even as far as items in versus items out. Because if you count if you count other items that I've listed that that I bought years before that I've grabbed and listed, I'm not falling behind this year at this point, so that's a rare year to say the least.
Yeah.
But I'm not making much headway either.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Hopefully that helps you a little bit. I wanted to go behind the scenes to get a little bit in depth with some actual ideas and numbers for you, because I know a lot of times people are out there and it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you pick up these big collections and then you wonder, am I doing something wrong? Why, what are other people doing? Everybody else seems to be getting everything listed. No, they're not.
No,
no, they're not.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just the buying is the easy part. It just really is, always has been, and always will be. That might not be 100% true if you're just starting out, when you don't have any contacts and you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
Buying might be a little bit difficult because you might be afraid to throw money at something or other. So you might be out there going, well, I want to pay $0.25 a piece for stuff. What can I buy for that? And you might have a hard time finding stuff if that's your price point starting out.
Sure.
Over time, buying gets easier and easier and easier as years go on. You learn more venues. You meet more people and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Obviously, if I had you had to rely on just buying things from thrift stores, buying would not be easy. No. Buying would not be easy whatsoever. But that's because of the niche that we're in. Hopefully that helps you a little bit. Do hit the like button if you could, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.